Jessica is in Billings, Montana. Hi, Jessica. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. My husband and I have been on your plan for about the last 5 years. We have done 3B for the last 2, and we've decided to go back to doing 4. We're just feeling really discouraged in not being able to afford a house where we are here in Montana, and just feeling like we're still years away, even after we've been saving for the last 4. And I just wondered if you had any advice for us.
How much have you saved?
We have a $20,000 emergency fund and $47,500 in a down payment fund.
What's your household income?
Between my husband and I, it's $75,000 a year.
You need to go buy a house.
We tried. We've been trying. So we looked at a house yesterday for $265,000, which is really affordable for our area. And I know you recommend a 15-year loan, but that seems way out of reach. So on a 30, the payments would be between $1,700 and $1,800 a month, which is more like 35% of our take-home pay instead of 25%.
You're not discouraged. You're throwing a fit because you can't buy the house you want. That's not the same as being discouraged.
Okay. We just haven't been able to find anything lower than that.
Yeah, keep looking. You need to find a home that you can afford that is a blessing. Don't buy something that's a curse because you didn't look hard enough. I mean, sometimes this is an adventure, this house hunting thing. You don't have an unlimited budget. You make $70,000 a year. You have $47,000 to put down. Don't put your family into a crisis just to become a homeowner. But also, don't say home ownership's out of reach in Billings, Montana. It's not. You can do this. But, it may not be the house you saw yesterday. And yeah, I would do it on a 15-year fixed where the payment's no more than a fourth of your take-home pay. Why? Because I want you to be millionaires later, and I don't want this house to ride you. I want you to ride the house.
Dave, Sheila and I, my wife and I, did something that's not really it's not in the baby steps. But we found ourselves in this situation, and tell me if this is crazy. We, as a couple, decided we are going to do essentially another Gazelle Sprint so that we can afford this down payment of a house. And we decided just to lock things down in the middle for a limited amount of time. I think we said 9 months, something like that. And we're just going to work bananas. I'll take an extra job, and I'm going to adjunct here. I'm going to do that. And let's just accelerate this process real fast to get this down payment so that we can then move this thing along.
The only thing that's not in the baby steps there is just we teach you to be intentional, not intense.
Right.
And you said, in order to get the house I want, we're gonna turn up the heat.
Yeah.
We're gonna go for it.
But and we decided together. Yeah.
And so like both of you work extra, no vacations, no eating out, and you go back to Gazelle intensity, and you take your 47 and you make it 75.
Right. And let's do this for 6 months, and let's just be bananas about it, and then then we're going to have no problem.
Yeah. But the problem is when you do a little bit of everything, nothing gets done.
That's right.
And so you start losing death by 1,000 cuts then, and that's what I'm afraid of here. And so it's just. It is, it's not all Skittles and rainbows when you go look at houses.
No, it's the worst.
Because you always see something you can't afford.
Always.
We're drawing a house plan to build next summer, and the guy helping us with it actually added the numbers wrong, accidentally. And so when we actually added them right, the house was like ridiculous. We're like, we're not doing that. And we can afford to do it, whatever. But it's just like, it's huge.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. Let's fix this. So we've gone through and cut the dadgum thing down, but it's depressing.
It hurts, right?
To go backward after you were up is depressing. And I can afford it.
Right.
So I have the choice. But if you don't have the choice and you've got to cut down because it doesn't fit the budget or it doesn't fit the situation, it's depressing.
Yeah.
If it's don't go drive new cars if you're getting ready to buy a new one or used one. Because a new one will, blow your dadgum mind, and then you can't return.
You can't, and don't fall in the trap of frustration. If you're around a child, especially like a toddler, they get annoyed, and then they just hit something, or they just shove something over, or they bite somebody. Don't just go see a house, and then just get so frustrated
you buy it anyway.
that you buy something.
Yeah, because it's just the way it is, and you don't understand.
Just walk away.
Dave
walk
Ramsey.
away.
Yeah.
And reset.
That's what you back up, take a cold shower, get house fever. I mean, it's a real thing. I understand. It's easy to be.
Oh, listening to her, I threw a temper tantrum the other day. I wanted to buy something, and again, I can afford it. There was no reason on the planet to buy it. None. Zero. Except I just wanted it. And my temper tantrum, Dave, was at me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The grown-up me was telling the kid me I can't do this.
And the kid
well,
me
that's
was
what
like,
we're doing with this house plan.
So dumb.
We're like, the grown-up me looked at that and went, that's just dumber than crap. We're not doing that. And Sharon goes, that's ridiculous. We're not doing that. And I'm going, but I like it.
And I want it.
I want it. And yeah, I mean, that's human freaking nature.
Right.
And if I, who teach this stuff every year for 30 years, fall for it, then Jessica in Billings, Montana, you have permission to fall for it too.
Right.
But you've got to fight the inner child.
Do the next right thing.
The one on the cereal aisle that throws a fit and says, I want it. No, call the wambulance, take 6 jobs, build up your down payment, or lower your price point that you're looking at and quit looking at houses you can't afford. And that's what you got to do. It's a pain in the butt, this thing called grown-upville. Brought to you by Xander Insurance. Identity theft protection isn't a luxury in today's world. It's a necessity. Get yours at Xander.com.
I just have a brief question for you guys, and that is, I take care of my stepdad, and I myself have no more debt, but he has $13,000 combined between a personal loan from his brother-in-law and credit card debt. And I've been working on the credit card debt for quite a long time, and I haven't worked on the loan because I'm trying to get some help from him, and I'm not.
Why are you working on his debts?
Well, originally when we started living together, it was one of those things where we kind of needed each other in terms of, like, I didn't have anything, and I had the job, but he had the place to live, and he had a credit card, and things kind of, spiraled out of there. We've had life events happen. I got in a car accident a couple of years ago. We had to put the whole thing on the credit card because we didn't have the insurance didn't pay out in time. So
you technically don't owe these debts. It's all in his name, but you feel a guilt because it was taken out for your benefit.
That, and he took care of my mother to her dying day, and I told him that I felt like I should do the same for him.
So you feel like there's no legal obligation, it's a moral obligation, and you want to be generous and just pay off his debt.
Yes, I feel that way. And I'm kind of in the conundrum as well that I need to take care of myself and my daughter too.
Yes, yeah.
And
so listen, bro, you don't. I'm saying this in a way that I always want to hold very tightly, that we honor our parents, okay? But it's their investment in us as kids is not some sort of 401k for them.
These days, it's not if your identity gets stolen, it's when. So you need ID theft protection from Xander. They monitor your personal info proactively and alert you of any suspicious activity, including home title fraud. Then Xander takes care of everything, including up to $2 million of stolen funds protection and white glove service to help you get your life back. Plus, kids are covered for free on their family plan. Call 800-356-4282 or go to Xander.com.
Do you know what I'm saying? He's
never thought of it that way.
He's supposed to take care of your mother. That was his wife. He was supposed to take care of you. You're his kid. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
I hope that if I ever found myself destitute and my son was able to, he would help out his old man. I do. I like the idea that I can help out my dad if I ever need to. Okay? But that's different than, like, I'm some sort of an account that he's going to start withdrawing from.
And that's really how it kind of feels lately.
Yes.
Is that I'm obligated to do this. And
is he putting that pressure on you?
Or is that you telling yourself a story?
I feel like it's me who,
he hasn't brought this up at all.
We've discussed it a couple times, and he gets really defensive. Where would you be without me, and that kind of deal.
Yeah, dude.
So that sounds like he's pressuring you.
Yeah, it's predatory,
and guilting
dude.
you
It's
into
nonsense.
paying off this debt.
Here's where you would be. Not there.
Yeah.
Ta-da. I hate that crap. That, hey, I did something nice for you, son of mine, so now you owe me. And owe means I'm going to spend recklessly. How about this way? If he wants to get on a budget and get a job and talk finances together, all right, cool. I'll play ball. But nobody who says that kind of crap to their kids ever does that. People who talk to their kids like that, they want to spend what they want to spend. They want to lay around. They want to are you get what I'm saying?
Well, he's in poor health and he can't work. And I've asked him if he could sell off some of the things that he has. And it's been one of those, I'll do it, but it hasn't happened.
There you go. There you go. So he can't work. He's in poor health, and you're honoring your dad. That's amazing. Good for you. And I honor him. He can't go get a job. Cool. But yes, then the next logical thing is we have a math problem that we have to solve together because we're both in this together. And so what he wants is he wants to not have to participate at all, not get rid of some of his blankies that makes him feel warm and fuzzy, not get rid of some of his toys or tools or whatever you got out there. But he wants you to come up with that extra money and that extra support and that extra fill in the blank.
Pretty much.
Are you also his retirement plan? I mean, beyond this $13,000, how is this guy going to survive the next 10 years? If he can't make his payments. That's the thing, is this problem is bigger than you, and he's trying to put it on you. As if you're the reason for it. As if this debt was out of his life would be perfect. And it sounds like you don't have it together financially. Where are you at? Because you're saying, hey, I really can't afford to do this.
I've just barely started to get my financial situation corrected. I had student loan debt for a long time, and by the grace of God, there was some kind of class action lawsuit. My loans were canceled. I got
what's left?
Easy. I opened up a credit card last year, and I paid it off before the interest charges hit. So I have no credit card debt.
Do you have any debt whatsoever?
No.
Do you have any savings?
Yeah, I completed baby step 1 with my $1,000 emergency fund, and I kind of feel like I'm in a holding pattern on the step 2 because of the debt situation with my stepdad, as we just discussed. But I'm beginning baby step 3 and trying to build up the big emergency fund.
Are you living with him?
Yeah, we have a two-bedroom house. I sleep in the garage because he's got a bedroom and my daughter has a bedroom. And that's kind of taken a toll on our relationship.
Is it a finished garage, or are you just straight up sleeping in a garage?
It's a garage with a little room in it. So I don't know what it was utilized for before we moved in here. It's a rental.
What's your long-term plan? Do you make enough to move out on your own for you and your kid?
I make $50,000 a year, and in California that doesn't go real far, but I've done the math, and I do believe next year I'll be able to move out on my own, and that's what I'd like to do is move out with my kid. And
how's he going to handle that?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how he's going to handle it. At some point, you're going to have to cut that tie because he's going to drown. He's going to drag you underwater.
Have you been paying him rent?
I'm paying 2/3 of the rent.
That sounds like a lot for a guy sleeping in a garage.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to have to understand that he's got to figure his finances out because you're not going to be there long term.
And here's the deal. There's not an easy way to have this conversation, brother. It's going to have to be a direct, probably in writing. As of this date, I'm going to move out. And if that $13,000 on that credit card is because you were struggling with an addiction, or you were homeless, or you went crazy spending it, then I'm going to tell you I think you should pay it back. If that $13,000 on that credit card is just your stepdad just kind of out in the wind spending money, then that's not your obligation to pay for. And no amount of guilt tripping is going to make that bill yours. Only you know what that bill is.
Yeah, I look at it a couple times a month.
Yeah, I imagine you do. And maybe you're able to say, all right, you know what, I'm gonna work an extra job. I'm gonna pay this stupid bill off, and then I'm gonna move out.
Yeah, that's something I'm working on right now. I'm educating myself into being able to build a small business on the side as a side.
You don't need to be doing that right now. You do not need to be building businesses, brother. That is how people take one step out of the hellhole you've found yourself in and fall right back in it. You need to get 2 jobs that have health insurance that you can clock in and out of, that give you some boundaries and some practice on your life. Okay? Don't start I'm going to get in a gig on the side. Man, that's too much for you right now. We got to draw some boundaries with Dad first.
One step at a time.
The best ID theft protection is from Xandr. They not only monitor, they help you get your life back. Go to Xandr.com to learn more. Aurora is with us in Portland, Oregon. Hi, Aurora. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
Good. How can we help today?
So the last couple of weeks I've been kind of, been watching all of your guys' stuff on YouTube.
Thank you.
I actually found you guys on TikTok.
Oh.
And, and I've just been kind of, the last couple of months I've been really trying to get settled and pay off debt. And just seems like any way that I try, I can't. And I always refer back to living paycheck to paycheck. And I'm kind of over it. I don't feel like I'm content where I am in life. And so I feel like part of that is just having so much debt and, having kids to take care of and wanting to plan for them. And I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do anymore.
Boy, I like you. You're in a really, really good place. Thank you for calling.
And I like you just because you mentioned to Dave that you found us through TikTok. Dave loves TikTok.
It's funny.
I'm not sure if that speaks poorly of you or of me, but one of the two. Okay.
I love it, yeah. And it's actually my birthday today, so I'm like, you know what?
Happy birthday. Glad you got through.
Thank you. I'm like, if it's not today, then I don't know what day it is.
Yeah, that's a great day to call. So walk us through the debt. How much debt do you have?
Well, I paid off quite a bit now, but I have about $21,000, I would say, between my partner and I, that we still need to pay off, and most of it is credit card debt.
So you said you paid it off. Tell us about the debt you paid off.
So back, when they were giving the unemployment during COVID, it took months for me to get my checks because everything was so behind. And when I finally got my claim, it wasn't that much. I paid off my car. I was like, this is one thing that I need to, get rid of because God forbid I, can't work anymore. I can't find another job. I need that, I need that to get around.
Yeah, well, I just want to stop and applaud you for that because the fact that you're already, wheels in motion, you paid off your car. That's great.
Yeah.
So what's your income?
Yeah. Between my partner and I, we make about $5,500.
Okay, let me stop a second. Are you married?
No, we're not. We live together, though.
Okay. All right. So legally, you have a roommate. And from the handling of your money, that's the way the law is going to look at it.
Right, yeah.
So you pay off your partner's debt, you get 0 credit for that with the law.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're combining your money with your roommate is a bad idea.
Yeah. Because
of where you stand legally. So how much, the $21,000, is that all in your name?
No.
Okay, what is in your name?
10,000, right. 10,000.
Okay, what is that on?
That is credit card debt.
Okay.
All of it.
And good. And you paid off your car. Way to go. And what do you make?
I make a month is about $2,200.
Okay. All right. Good for you. And how old are you?
I'm 28.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm an elementary school secretary.
Oh, well, thank you for your service. Thanks for what you do for the kiddos. Okay, so if you've been watching the videos, are you familiar with the term gazelle intense?
No, I'm not yet.
Dave, can you do your Dave explanation of it? You do it the best.
Oh, okay. So here's the thing. What we have figured out is that personal finance is 80% behavior. It's 20% head knowledge. And so for your partner with their money, we'll tell them to do exactly the same thing you're doing, but not combined.
Right.
But not combined.
Okay.
So we'll have the same result that you're looking for, but when you combine them, you leave yourself open to other problems that we don't want to get into. Okay, like who bought the mustard or whatever, all that garbage, right? So now, if personal finance is 80% behavior, that means when I get control of me, I have the best possible control and of my outcome with my money. The more intense I get, the deeper I sacrifice, and the deeper I sacrifice, the more money goes towards cleaning up the mess, and the quicker I get stabilized and moving towards wealth. So in other words, if you goof around with this stuff and sort of kind of do it, and you still go out to eat, and you still go on vacation, and you still buy a bunch of crap that hasn't got anything to do with the goal of getting rid of these credit cards, it's going to take twice as long, and you're going to be half as likely to ever even do it.
Right. And
but if you get so intense that it's like,
what I've been doing.
Yeah, if you get so intense that it's like you're going to die if you don't get rid of this credit card debt in 5 months, then you're going to work 6 jobs, and you're going to eat ramen noodles, and you're not going to do nothing but work and get out of debt, because that's intense and sacrifice. And that's what we mean by gazelle intense, like the gazelle running from the cheetah. Doesn't want to be eaten and doesn't want to be killed. They're running for their freaking lives. This is not an intellectual discussion. This is very visceral. It's bone marrow. You are going for it, right? And that's there's something that happens in 30 years of me doing this when people get that level of pissed off, that they're willing to cut everything, that their friends think they've lost their minds, they think you've joined a cult, then you're on track. So you need to get out the credit cards when you get off the phone and chop them all up into little bitty pieces, every one of them. And you need to get on a written budget, and you need to get another job or 6. And you're not going out to eat, and you're not going to see the inside of a restaurant unless you're working there. And you're not going on vacation. All you're doing is getting out of debt. Because how's it going to feel when you don't have any debt? It's going to feel really good. How's it going to feel when you don't have any debt and have $10,000 in the bank? It's going to feel really good. We call that financial peace.
Yes.
But you're going to pay a price to get there. You're going to have to live like no one else. So later you can live and give like no one else, okay? That's what Christina's talking about.
Yeah, and I'm super encouraged. When you split things out, you've got $10,000. You've got $2,200 a month, and you're 28 years old. You can work 6 jobs. You can make the sacrifices. Well, you can do this quickly.
You're working in elementary school. It's over 3:30. You got time to do 3 more jobs. I mean, you really do. I mean, you can go make some serious money. And there's people hiring out there like crazy right now. Big time. So, and you don't have to do this forever. You just do it for a short period of time. It's a sprint. You just bust it for a short period of time. Hang on, Aurora. We like you. We're going to put you through our class called Financial Peace University. We're going to pay for it. Watch those classes. Hold on, I'm going to pay for you to have a membership. You watch every one of them and do every single thing we said to do, and you'll be wealthy. Up to you.
David is up in Columbus, Ohio. David, how can we help?
Hello.
Hello.
What's going on?
Well, my wife and I went through the Financial Peace University DVD set last year, and it helped us to pay off quite a large amount of debt from our credit cards and a personal loan that I had. And we worked ourselves down to 2 debts, but we seem to be stuck in a revolving door of the baby steps the past 6 months, and I'm kind of looking for guidance on where to go from here.
Okay, what's this revolving door? Have you had some emergencies?
Yeah, we built up our emergency fund. We've got 3 vehicles. One of them I owe on. The other 2 we own outright. The 2 that we do own on have some higher miles. So every time we build up the fund, they need maintenance or the house needs maintenance. We build up our 6 months, essentially savings. And unfortunately, last year we had an unexpected need to put a roof on the house. So that took a big chunk out of that fund as well. So we're kind of looking where to get it from here. I'd like to put more in my 401k.
How much are you putting now?
I was putting 15% in. Last year, I cut it back to 6% to help pay off the excess debt, and I'm wanting to take that back to 15%. But I'm torn as to whether to put more into 401k or to pay off the car loan that I currently have.
I'm confused as to which Financial Peace University you went through, David. You're doing 17 things at once.
Yes, that's our downfall. We seem to take on way too much at once.
Okay, so how about this? What if for 6 months you tried the plan as is and you went all in, which means we're not investing, we're taking our savings down to $1,000, and we're putting every single ounce of energy and money towards our consumer debt? Would you take that challenge?
Absolutely.
And I tell you that because I have such confidence in you, and I've seen thousands of people who go all in actually accomplish it, and I've also talked to hundreds more on the phones who go, hey, I don't know why I'm not making the progress I should be, and also I'm not following the baby steps as is. And so it's not to be fundamentalist, it's just to go, when you focus all of your energy and intensity on one thing at a time, you make progress. That's all it is. So how much do you have left in consumer debt?
We owe $100,000 on our house, and we owe I owe $13,000 on my car.
So we're just 13 away from this thing being done in baby step 2.
Correct.
What's the car worth?
It books for right under 14. However, the offers I've gotten from the dealer, I've tried to sell back to them. They're not wanting to budge off of 10.
Well, forget the dealers. Let's go private party. Let's do our research online and see if there's any online companies that would buy it for more, and go from there. Because this clears the deck for you to be able to start saving up that fully funded emergency fund. And you have 3 cars. Can you survive with 2?
Yeah, we're exploring the option of selling our truck. We own it outright, so that would be, $6,500 to $7,000 we could pocket.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't want to miss, David, I want you to miss what George said. You're kind of like, yeah, don't sell the car to the dealer. They're never going to give you what you can get private party. It's not even close.
Yeah, I tried to sell it private party last month, and unfortunately, a lot of tire kickers, not a whole lot of interest, and they seemed to offer about the same as what
Where'd you
the
list it?
Offering.
Where'd you post it?
It was listed on Craigslist, local ads, Facebook, just a couple places.
Well, are you selling it for what it really could command via Blue Book?
Yeah, the Blue Books listed it for $13,900. I had it priced just under $14,000. I even had a couple offers out. If someone was willing to do $13,500, essentially that would dissolve the loan, and I'd pocket $400, and I could wash my hands of it and continue on with life.
Why didn't you do that?
The best offer I could get was around 10.
Oh, you weren't actually getting the
Oh,
full.
I thought you
Okay.
said you got.
Yeah, that's the downside.
What's your household income, David?
We gross about $100 a year.
Okay, so let's say we even didn't sell the car. How quickly do you think this thing's getting paid off if we brought investing down to 0 and we went full focus on getting rid of this car loan?
I know without touching the investing, we calculated we could potentially have it paid off by August. Without the investing, I'd say
I'm thinking
June,
90
July.
days max. You guys are bringing you're bringing home what, $7,000 a month?
A little bit under that.
So 13. Let's say we could divide that in 3, right? That's going to be $4,300 a month. So the question now becomes, how do we find $4,300 worth of margin to throw at this debt? Which means we're pausing investing, which means we're not eating out, which means we're getting the budget dialed in. Could you come up with $4,000 a month to throw at this car loan?
Absolutely.
And so now 90 days from now, we're at baby step 3. And so we're out of this vicious cycle you've been experiencing. And if there was another emergency, we would just pause the baby steps and start saving up with those future paychecks.
Okay.
But you got to go all in for this to work, David. And so I want you to call us back as you go all in on this and let us know if anything has changed for you, because I think it will.
Ramel is with us in Long Island, New York. Hi, Ramel. How are you?
Hey, Dave and John. How are you?
Better than we deserve, sir. How can we help?
Nice. All right. I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. I'm just so far into debt, and I'm scared, and I don't know which way to go with it. And it's like, every time I get paid, it's like I'm on a roller coaster. I just go round and round, and nothing's getting done. And I'm just way over my head with everything.
How much do you owe, man?
Between credit cards and my stupid car loan, I'm at $45,000.
Okay.
What do you make?
I make about $33 an hour. So I bring before taxes about $1,300, but I bring home after taxes around $970 a week.
Mm-hmm. Are you married?
Yes, I am married, 4 kids. My wife's a stay-at-home mom.
Okay, cool.
And
what do you owe on the car in particular?
I owe $11,800 on it.
Okay. So the credit cards are you didn't like take a big trip or celebrate something. This is just life has happened with this chaos, and it ended up on the credit card because you couldn't pay it all.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's normal.
Multiple credit cards.
Yeah, that's normal. That fits with what you were describing a while ago, the sense of being a rat in a wheel. So here's the thing. If you and your wife were to sit down today in front of John and I, and we were just sitting there at our kitchen table and all 4 of us talking, would we see 2 people that are sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you ready to go through the pain of change because the pain of the current situation sucks enough?
We're absolutely on board. Where it's
is
stressful,
she?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, because that's a big deal. I mean, if you because some people like the pain of the chaos more than they like the pain of change, because changing is a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
because you're getting ready to do some uncomfortable stuff to break this cycle, and you got to be ready for that.
Yes.
What do you do for a living?
I work on a school bus. I'm a mechanic.
Okay. How old are your kids?
My oldest is 16. My son is 10. My daughter's 8, and my youngest is 5.
Okay. So here's the thing. No more eating out.
No. And I think that's our big issue.
Oh, it
100%.
is. Sure it is. Your wife is a stay-at-home mom. She now, by God, cooks.
Yep.
All right. That's her job. She's a home economist. That's her part in this. Yep. And when you get home, put the kids to bed and turn off the television. Okay. And we're going to start a budget tonight. And the 2 of you are going to start telling your money what to do instead of wondering where it went.
Okay.
Because where you're sitting emotionally is a helpless, hopeless feeling. It feels stuck and out of control.
Yep. And, I had it when last week I told my wife, I'm worth more dead than alive. Because I did take one thing from your lesson. We both got term life insurance.
Good.
And,
what lesson is that? You went through Financial Peace University?
No, I just, from hearing from the talk shows.
I see.
Talk about term.
Okay.
So I told my wife, we got to
I got to tell you, that was a stupid thing to say because it's not true. You're not worth more dead than alive. You might be worth more money at this instant, but not more money over the scope of your life. Your earning power through the scope of your life much exceeds that, and the economic and actual arithmetic value to your children, not to mention the actual fatherhood to your children, but the actual math of what it does to your family far exceeds that life insurance. So you're very valuable to your family, sir.
Okay. Thank you. I needed that.
Yeah. And that's not just valuable in a spiritual sense, which is true, but I'm talking about the arithmetic. You are actually worth more alive, mathematically. Okay? So, and we know the other part's true. Yeah. You're worth more as a dad. You're worth more as a person. You're a good guy. I've enjoyed talking to you for a few minutes here. So,
and you've got to, whenever we get wound up it feels like we're drowning, right? And you've got this debt and it's hanging over you. There's also the chaos of you work on school buses.
Yes.
Yeah. You have been caught in that mess of a system in New York for the last 36, 48 months, and it's been a disaster.
Yes.
And you have a 5-year-old all the way up to a 16. Your house is a zoo right now.
Yep.
Right? And so
Absolutely.
everything feels like it's coming apart at the seams. I need you to hear me say this. It's not.
Okay.
When you have a 16-year-old and a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old, and what was the other one?
8.
8. Dude, you're just going to have underwear in weird places in your house. And you're just going to have pee in weird, like, I don't know how this works geometrically, how it got this way in the bathroom. Some of that just is, and some of that is not going to war, not declaring civil war on Ramel.
Okay.
Okay? You're a dad who's in it's the winter, and there's no reason to go outside and scream because it's snowing. It's winter. So put a coat on, man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so you're in a wild season. What can you control right now? You can control this debt. And let's get on this plan. You can control your marriage. You can control how much you and your wife get together on the same page. And that's the beauty of getting on this plan together.
Yeah, we're going to put you into Financial Peace University and pay for it, okay? If I pay for it and give it, if I pay for it and give it to you, will you promise me you will do every single thing we say to do in the lesson?
Yes, sir.
And your wife?
And my wife, 100%.
Okay.
Hey, let me one up. And you promise, if you ever have a thought again, I think my family would be better if I wasn't here. If you ever have that thought again, do you promise you will reach out to another man that you trust and say, I'm not doing all right?
Yes, I will.
You promise?
Yes, promise.
Got it.
Okay. You're a great guy, and you're going to be fine. And in 30 years, I've walked with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people just like you. You're going to be 100% debt-free. You're going to be on a budget. You're going to have an emergency fund of $15,000 or $20,000, and you and your wife are going to have the best communication that you've ever had in the history of your marriage so far, if you will follow the stuff we teach you to do. I'll show you exactly how to do every bit of that. It's not costing you a dime. So it works, dude. It works. It changes everything when you lean into this. So you hold on. We'll pick up and get you signed up. Matt starts us off from Montana this hour. Hey, Matt, how are you?
Good. How you doing, sir?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I knew that answer was coming. Well, I'll give you the kind of the quick synopsis. I'm a home builder here in Montana. Got my butt handed to me in the recession, and I've been working my way out. I was in the middle of a big commercial and residential subdivision when the recession hit. That, of course, went on hold, and now I'm still digging out personally. As of right now, paid off about $450,000 personally.
Wow!
By selling my house, selling basically everything but the kids.
Wow!
And changing our lives. Me and the wife, we took your class at a church here in town, and that drastically changed our lives. So we thank you for that. But where I'm sitting today is I'm down to personally $102,000 personally, and on my house that I rebuilt after I sold my other house, and that's mostly just my land. I paid basically just on the house as I've gone. So sitting really good personally that way.
So you have a $102,000 mortgage on your home.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
And have about to kick my student loan gone down to about the last $4,200 on that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be gone here in about another month.
Wow, man, you're killing it! Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And then in the meantime, we decided to have 2 more kids, so now we're up to 6 kids.
Mm-hmm.
So busy lives in the process of everything. Wife started a business debt-free. And doing really, really well with that. Just haven't really drawn any income off of it. Just keep rolling it into the business. And now we're going to start pulling consistently about $6,000 to $7,000 a month off of that business.
Cool.
So yeah.
What are you making? What's your income?
My income, building now, kind of post-recession, I'm making 67 to 70-ish a year just myself before the wife's income.
Sounds like you're both together going to have about $100,500 then. Okay.
basically starting from this point forward with the wife's deal.
Yeah.
What I'm working on now is I had about $7 million owed on my subdivision, down to about 2.5 as it's back going and getting things developed and sold and keeping the housing market going. So working to never, ever, ever be back in debt that much.
So you still have that.
Yes, still have that.
Okay.
Yes, of business debt. So working through that with what I've got going for development-wise, it's got probably about $3.5 million once stuff is final platted in this spring. So we'll have that paid off, and knock on wood, have about $1.5 million to show for it, depending on interest and taxes and all that great stuff.
Okay, so the properties are going to sell off at the current burn rate by spring, and you will be debt free and have cleared $1 million.
Yep.
Good. Way to go. That's quite a turnaround.
Yeah, that's quite the turnaround, and it still would have probably about 5 commercial properties debt free at that point that I could continue to sell, or the idea was to keep and put commercial businesses on them for lease, that kind of thing.
Are they paid for? Are they clear?
They would be by next spring, summer.
Okay, so they'll be clear. Okay.
Yep. So where I'm sitting today, and that's why I'm having to call to the debt guru here, is I've got a fellow that I've worked with for lots of years, built a commercial building in our subdivision, bought the lots from us, and built a commercial building. He's wanting to sell the building now, and I've been basically managing it for him. He wants to sell it to me, work as the bank, set up as a trust indenture, not a contract for deed. And I just am torn. I don't know if it's worth getting back in some form of debt again.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Haven't you had enough fun?
No, I guess I haven't. No, I mean, I definitely have had way too much fun.
Listen, I got a bunch of commercial property, and I own all of it free and clear, and life is good.
And life is good.
The last thing I want is a dadgum mortgage. I mean, I don't need a piece of property. I don't need a deal of any kind ever again bad enough to go into debt for it. So what's this property worth that this guy's wanting to sell you?
It's appraised at $1,380,000.
Well, can't you pay cash for it next spring?
Basically, and that's kind of the idea here.
Lease it with an option until next spring.
So, yeah, he wants to get rid of it now. He just wants to be done. He's moving out of the area.
Then you're not the buyer.
Okay.
If he wants to lease it to you until next spring with an option to purchase, I might give him a little money for that, to hold it until I've got the money. But I don't have the money, and so I'm not a player. Yeah. Listen, it has cleaned up my life, Matt. My brain is so clean because it's a real simple transaction. I look at something, and if I have the money, I can buy it. If I don't have the money, I can't buy it because I don't borrow money.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I've done for 5 years.
And you cleaned up a whole dadgum mess that almost took you down, man. I mean, your head was in the noose, and you got your head out of the noose.
Yeah.
Don't stick it back in there.
Okay. Well, that's what I needed to hear because, I'm still an entrepreneur. I still see like a good deal.
I'm a real estate guy. I love a good deal, man.
Yeah.
I love a good deal. But there's no possible way I'm going back into debt. The definition of a good deal, it partly is, can I pay for it?
True.
And you're not ready. Yeah. Listen, I'll give you a bet, all right?
Okay.
I'll give you a 50% shot or greater that this guy waits till spring to sell it to you.
Okay.
I'll bet you're
probably right, because that's basically what my wife said too.
Yeah, you take an option on it. You run it for him till spring. You make him a sweet deal, and you cash out your deal, and you put the cash and go buy the property. If it's a great buy, and if it's something you really want to own. But if I got $1 million in my hand or $1.3 million in my hand, I'm going to look at that piece of property and go, "Is this what I want to buy? Do you really? Are you sure it's that good a deal? That's a lot of money. Are you sure? Because I'm going to get. I mean, if it's only worth $1.3 million, certainly don't want to buy it for $1.3 million. I want to buy. It's be worth $2 million if I'm paying $1.3 million for it. So I really want a good deal here. because I'm walking around with cash, and cash talks, man, and you know what else walks, right? So that just don't do it unless you got the cash. Structure it in a way where your head doesn't go back in the noose, my man. Don't just learn the lesson. Don't go back. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
You can do this. That really is the message. Whether you've got $270,000 in student loan debt or $27,000, whether you've got a $50,000 income or a $500,000 income.
Brought to you by CHM, a biblically based alternative to health insurance. Learn more at chministries.org/budget.
So I recently purchased a home in West Virginia about a month ago. And since living there, my family and I have got really sick, experiencing allergy-like symptoms. Long story short, ended up getting someone to come and test for mold. And it's very high numbers in Staphylococcus. I don't know. I'm probably butchering that name, but it's the one that's really, really dangerous. So now I'm in the other side. I'm post-closing. I did go through the property disclosure. It was as is, and it was a flip. And also, I did also get a home inspector as well. And this is through a VA loan. So now I'm trying to figure out if I should do a mold remediation myself or go ahead and do a deed in lieu of foreclosure situation, because now I don't feel comfortable staying there at all, because what else is concealed in this house, I don't know. And turns out the guy that flipped it has a horrible reputation around the community for doing basically lipstick on a pig flips.
So when you did the inspection to purchase the home, it didn't come up on the inspection, but now it is. Can you clarify that for me?
Yeah, the mold is in plain view, but from a lay person, if you look at it, it looks like mildew or maybe like dirt, just like a dirty basement.
Yeah.
But the second inspector that came in said, this is definitely mold. It's in plain view. Nobody called this. He said the appraiser could have called it, but I know they're there for just evaluation purposes. But he said that, you potentially have a case. And I've contacted attorneys, and they are all pretty much said that I don't have a case because it's a buyer beware state, which I wasn't. I didn't know what that meant. So the onus is on the buyers, and it's not a lot of consumer protections for us in West Virginia.
Oh, shoot. Wow. Have you had any estimates on what it would cost to try to go through? And I mean, mold is such a frustrating part of the, that whole process of renovation. But have you
what's the remediation cost?
Yes. So I had an adjuster come for with my homeowner's insurance, but of course they deemed it pre-existing, and the adjuster told me that the basement is not even up to code. So the cost of doing the basement is like $20,000 plus, and the mold remediation itself would be $10K plus.
Is that how many? Okay, so let's keep. I think for now we keep the mold separate from the basement not being to code, and find out, because here's the thing: if you get the mold out of the house and you're ready to sell the property, then you can say you can sell it, you can feel good about it, there's no mold here. The other question, but I did have the question, so you're telling me your inspector missed the mold and missed the fact that the basement wasn't to code?
Yes, and he said one of my questions before I hired him was, how long have you been doing it? What are just asking his history of his work. And he's like, over 20 years. And I looked at reviews. He has great reviews on the BBB. And
that's weird.
All this stuff. And I was like, are you approved by the VA? And he was like, yes. And I verified everything, and everything checked out on paper. But yeah, none of that.
And there's nothing on him. There's no liability towards whoever did the inspection.
And that's what the lawyers are saying?
But they are saying that the likelihood of it, of winning in court is low because of that caveat emptor buyer beware thing in West Virginia, and the fact that they have no duty to disclose mold in West Virginia.
And what's the point of the DACM inspection? What's the point of it?
Exactly. You would have to hire a mold inspector on top of the regular home inspector and a radon inspector and whatever other inspectors separately in order to do this. And they said it was a law just passed with the Supreme Court back, I think, 2020, just last year. It was something recent that passed. But my realtor in the agency, his broker, he told me that I did have something and that I should pursue it. But my thing is, go into further debt with litigation, going back and forth with these lawyers, which is a shot in the dark, or just take an L and I mean, it's going to ding my credit, but I need to get out of it because we're essentially homeless.
Why can't you just put it on the market? You've purchased it. Can't you just put it back on the market for sale? Why does it have to go into foreclosure, I guess is what I'm saying.
Because I'm going to have to disclose it and it's not remediated. So also I asked that question. They said a lot of lenders won't lend on a home with active mold. Now the mold, I don't know if it's active because I've got a dehumidifier down there and I've sealed up where moisture may have gotten in. But I don't know who deems it active or not, but you can see it now because I've pulled paneling off. It was hidden. It was even more like the obvious mold that you would be behind paneling.
So what if we said this? What if we said, let's get a couple of opinions on what it's really going to cost to get this remediated? And then do you have any money anywhere?
No. And the money I am getting, I run a business out of West Virginia. And right now we're living with my man and we're going back and forth 2.5 hours between Columbus and where we're at every other day. So I can still take clients, and that money is going towards gas and food, and because I've had to take the kids out of school because they are allergic to it, and I got them allergy tested to verify what I'm saying, you know.
Yeah. How much are you making a year, Melissa?
I'm a disabled veteran, so on top of that, I would say about 80,000 a year.
What do you get for the disability per month?
About 5.
Okay. So
just under 5, it's like 4.9 or 4.8, something like that.
Okay, and then what do you take home from your actual job? Take home
per month.
I would say about 5.
So we've got $10K a month. How many kids?
2.
And how much is this mortgage out of your take home?
15.
1,500?
Okay, that's good.
This is
so, Melissa. I almost would just go rent somewhere. I mean, be paying the mortgage, go rent, because this isn't feasible. The 2.5 hour thing, I think that adds stress. I think that's exhausting everybody. Pulling the kids out of the routine. I mean, that's just miserable. I would just go rent somewhere. Go rent a 1-2 bedroom apartment, knowing it's short term.
Cheap.
Yes. Just knowing like this is what we're going to do, just to have some stability from where you were.
And then they can get back in school.
Yes. And then from there, gosh, I would probably get even a second attorney's opinion. And sometimes, they'll take cases and with what, is won in court. If so, then that's how they get paid. So you're not having to go deeply in debt with all this litigation and stuff. So, so maybe even from a different standpoint, from a payment perspective, you can find someone different on that end. But I would probably still pursue that because this feels like a lot of negligence on the end of your inspector, even though the mold thing, which I guess is the biggest part of all of this, if he doesn't have to disclose it or find it, that has to be separate in West Virginia. I mean, that's just bizarre. And then I would be saving and I would do the cheapest renovation you can to get this mold out. That would be safe to resale so that you can, in good conscience, sell this home. Right. Would you want to stay in the home if you did get the mold all clear?
I don't, and I don't want to stay. I love the home. That's why I bought it. But I no longer want to stay there because now with this man's reputation being the way it is.
Yeah, you don't know.
Think more things will be wrong.
Sure, you don't know. Yeah. So I would save Melissa really aggressively, stage by stage, be redoing this house from just the mold, right? Not the up to code basement thing. Someone can renovate that if they want, but just getting the mold out, put it on the market and sell it. And in good faith to say, this was cleaned up.
Yeah.
You don't know. I mean, the guy has a terrible reputation. You don't know what else is there, but you don't know, right?
Gosh,
and if the inspector finds something else, then we can deal with that. But I would put it on the market and try to sell it just to get out of it.
And we'll give you every dollar so you can really plan this $10,000 a month to make that happen.
Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry, Melissa. It's such a headache. Terrible, terrible, terrible. CHM isn't health insurance. It's a health cost-sharing ministry. Check it out for yourself at chministries.org/budget.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I just went through a divorce or finalized it recently. It took a while. And I've been a stay-at-home mom during my entire marriage for the past 14 years. Anyway, I got what I consider a pretty good amount of money, and I'm just curious. I don't really know what to do with it. I let my ex-husband handle every single bit of finances. I never knew how much money we had or anything. So
how much are you getting?
Well, there's a couple components to it. I got a check for $1.1 million.
Okay.
I got a 401k for $715,000.
Okay.
And then $15,000 per month for the next 7 years.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 40.
Okay. So you've got a guaranteed income for the next 7 years. That's nice. Okay. Okay, great. So tell me your question.
Okay, so my question is, I'm completely debt-free. Mm-hmm. I also don't own a home because I just got divorced.
Okay. So you need a place to live.
Right. I'm renting right now, which is $3,600 a month, which I feel like is really expensive.
It is.
It's also all bills paid. So my question, I guess, is I've got like $95,000 in a high-yield savings account. I started a Roth IRA. I'm like totally, I know nothing about finance, so I've just been trying to learn just in the last month or so. Anyway, my question basically is, can I live off of part of this money, like off of the monthly income, or do I need to get a significant job?
Well, the good news is you do have a monthly income for the next 7 years. So you've got some time to reinvent yourself and figure out what you want to do with life. And if I were you, obviously you don't need $15,000 per month. To figure out what do I need? What's a fair budget for me? Maybe it's $7,000 a month, and then you take the rest and you invest it every single month, right? So that's thing one. You've been bought time to figure out a career path for you, and I'm going to toss it to Ken in a moment for that. But let's talk about the rest of the income that you have. So let's say, just to keep it simple, let's say you invest half of what you're getting every single month for the next 7 years. So around $7,500, and then you've got $1.1 million. That's a check, right?
Yes. And I didn't know what to do with that, so I just put it in a money market account because I didn't even know how to deposit that.
Great. I think that's a good place to start. My homework for you is I want you to start learning about investing. I want you to start understanding, okay, I know ex-husband used to do it, but it's now time for you to start learning, because the time is going to come where you're going to need to invest this, and you're going to want to understand it. You don't want to just hand a check for $1.1 million over to anybody and say, here, you handle this. You're going to want to say, okay, I get it. And a great place to start is here. Here at Ramsey, we do teach that investing is a better place for you to build long-term wealth than a money market account or a high-yield savings account, simply because of rate of return, right? If you invest that money, you'll get a higher compound interest rate of return on that, so it'll grow faster. And so I would tell you to get hooked up with a SmartVestor Pro. They're going to have the heart of a teacher, and they're going to be able to teach you about this. And that's the key thing. Tell them, I don't want to invest anything yet. I just want to learn, right? And they're going to ultimately have you invested in a way that's 4 different types. We're spreading it out. It's not going to be high risk. It's not going to be just in a set of stocks, but I want you to understand that. So when the time comes, we are investing that check, but in the meantime, we're getting with a SmartVestor Pro to teach us. And then as far as the $715,000 401k, leave it, let it grow. You're probably going to have to do a direct transfer rollover into an IRA. And so the SmartVestor Pro is going to help you do that. And then for you, now it's all about career and what you're going to do with your life, because you're super young.
I got a couple quick questions on the money first. So the $715,000, how old are you?
I'm 40.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be so much money.
So the 715 that is in the 401k, and that is going to be a lot of money. What is that going to be in 30 years?
Okay, so did you tell me you're 40 now?
Yeah, she's 40.
Okay, so let's just say you retire, I don't know, let's say 65. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Okay, let's say you add nothing to it. That right there is going to be $8 million.
Holy cow.
Just not touching it.
The reason I went to that, Susan, is because on this work thing, this may or may not be a thing now. How old are the kids?
They're 14 and 11.
Okay.
My other thing is, can I buy a house?
Yes.
Yes.
I was going to say that. I was working that.
Which money do I use?
I would take the 1.1.
The check.
The 1.1 check is what you need to do. Plus, you already have $95,000 in another savings account. So I was going to ask you, what is a modest house in a nice area? What is a house price? You know your area for you and the kiddos. What does that look like? What's the money on that?
I mean, right now there's like nothing to buy. I've been looking. I mean, there's a nice home for $500,000.
Okay, so
it's in the
let's just
school
use that.
district we need.
Let's just use as an example. Okay, so if I'm you, and then I'm going to pay cash for the house. Because right now you're paying $3,600 a month in rent.
Yeah.
So you take just a little bit less than half of the 1.1 and you've got it paid for a house. Now that monthly budget, which I'm using is the $15,000 you're getting in the settlement. Now that $3,600 was coming out of the $15K, it's not anymore.
Right.
And your utilities and things like that are going to be nothing. You still got the 2 kiddos in school. So I would come up with the every dollar budget and budget off of the 15, and I would do the some type of an investment strategy based on what a SmartVestor Pro tells you, because Jade already proved to you don't have to put another penny, and I'm not saying not to, but I'm guessing their investment strategy is going to be you're going to diversify some stuff, because right now you are more than fine, Susan. Like, you're going to be very, very wealthy. And based on just the 401k and what it does over time. So for me, if I were you, I would take my time. You just came out of this divorce. You've just settled. I'm fine with you renting for a little bit longer. You're saying the market right now is not a lot on the market. Let's see what happens after this presidential election. The point is, grieve, stay cool. The $3,600, while it's a little expensive, it's not even phasing you. I would take my time. I'd buy a nice house cash. And now you still have over $500,000 to invest.
And when you invest it, you're probably going to look for something that's non-retirement, something that you can get to sooner, that's in some sort of a bridge account, so that you can access it, before you're 60.
I agree with that. And that should be the advice that you get. Yeah. But for 7 years, my goodness. But here's the deal. You're going to have some margin in that monthly as well. That's $180,000 a year for the next 7 years.
Yeah, you're good.
So from a standpoint of work, hang on the line. We'll give you the book, Find the Work You're Wired to Do, and the Get Clear Assessment. But that is a relaxed, like, what would I do if I didn't have to work? Which, by the way, you don't have to.
You don't have to. I was just talking purpose.
Yeah. So, sorry, we're running out of time, Susan. Hang on the line. We'll get that to you. But thank you for the call. You're going to be in good shape.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Hi, I just had a question for you guys. Needed to know if my plan, I know nothing about really you guys, is just I'm an idiot, or how much of it is I'm an idiot to try to get everything straightened out financially.
Well, don't beat yourself up too much. You don't know us, and yet you decided to call us. So somebody close to you said, Alan, call these guys. Am I getting this right?
Yes, you guys have been referenced to me before by a coworker over a year ago. I wrote it off as nothing and then was like,
oh boy,
maybe there's something to it.
That tells us actually how desperate you are.
You're like, fine. A year later, I'm desperate. I'm going to call these clowns and see if they can help me.
We'll do our best, Alan. We will do our best. Give us a little bit more detail here on the real problem.
All right. So me and my wife are pregnant. Well, I'm not. She is.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Pretty soon. I talked to try to file bankruptcy. That cost over $2,000, so I didn't do it. They estimated me at about $12,000 in debt, and that's including her car. I don't have one.
You tried to file bankruptcy over $12,000?
Yeah. Now, I told you I don't know what I'm doing, how much of an idiot I am. I don't know.
No, let's stop.
Well, I'll tell you this. Bankruptcy is not your answer.
Yeah.
You guys are the solution to this problem. And so we're going to get you out of it. You're working full-time?
Yes, my hours vary, and so does my paycheck. It's highly inconsistent.
What kind of work are you doing?
Geotechnical field technician.
That sounds really fancy. What does that mean?
Summed up, construction needs testing done before they can build or any of that. I run a bunch of tests.
Okay. But that's not a consistent 40-hour-a-week gig?
Sometimes it can be just below 40 hours. I'll make less than $400 or $500. Sometimes I'm working almost 60 hours, still make less than $800.
I'm so
I never
confused.
know what my check's going to be.
What is is it an hourly rate? Who's setting this?
It's $15 an hour.
Okay, I think you need to be making more money doing something this
better
technical.
job. So let's just check
My boss
that off the
told
list.
me today, that he was looking to give me a raise soon, but has no idea how much or how little it'll be.
Does that that just makes my head hurt listening to that entire sentence.
Right, but I'd come back to them because we had moved back up to Georgia from Florida because that was a bust at every avenue, and they were the only place I could find to go back to work for. Okay. I did get my real estate license in Florida, and I got the paperwork printed out to transfer it up here. So my plan is to try to get what time I have not working, because I could work through the weekend at a moment's notice. You get told at the end of the day whether you got to be at work.
Hey, Alan, you're making too many excuses as to why you're stuck. This whole...
that's where my plan comes in, is I want to get into the real estate and find a secondary gig,
Dude, that is a luxury. You need money now.
Yeah.
Not, I hope to make a commission 7 months from now to sell my first house.
Yeah.
I'd be working 60 hours a week doing retail, and you'll make more.
Yeah. That's absolutely right. You can be making $20 an hour stocking shelves somewhere at this point. You've got to get really intentional. This whole I'm an idiot act, it's a function of, if I can be very straight with you, you're making a lot of excuses. And George is right. You presented us with $12,000, which in the grand scheme of things, my friend, is not a lot of money to pay off if you have intentionality. In other words, a much better paying job, and then you do what George tells you to do to pay it off.
The debt mathematically is not your issue here.
Absolutely. I understand. I just started getting real with these things like a wake up this week. So I knew I had nothing together.
All right, well, listen to George here.
I think here's what happened. You got a baby on the way, and it was a reality check.
That's right.
And you went, oh my goodness, I got to be like an adult all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And your wife is feeling the stress too. Is she currently working?
She doesn't care about money.
She does when she doesn't have it, and she can't feed her baby.
All right,
she's got to start caring.
Walking through how he gets out of this. Listen, Alan, pay attention like you've never paid attention to anything else in your life.
You need income ASAP. The debt, I'm guessing the minimum payment is a few $100.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you owe $12,000, and it's a car?
Mm-hmm.
It's a couple of things. A credit card, her car, a lawyer from a previous divorce. That's only $2,000. Didn't even use them. And
what's the car worth, and what do you owe on it?
I believe she said the car's worth like 20 something, 30. And it should be paid off next year.
No, what do you owe on the car?
I think like 7.
You need to sell that car today. It's worth $30,000 and you owe 7?
I think that's what she said last time I asked her about it.
So you could make $23,000 from this sale, use that to pay off the rest of your debts, and still have money left over to buy another car used in cash. You hear that? You just solved the problem right there, Alan. And then the next step is, let's get our income up and start stacking up cash so that we have some when the baby's here. You guys are going to be debt-free with an emergency fund by the time this baby arrives into this world. Mark my words. And we're going to send you Financial Peace University. You and your wife sit down, watch all 9 lessons, and then you will be on the Ramsey train on the path to building wealth.
And Alan, let's change the label. You're not an idiot. You're a good man. You're a husband. You're a father. You're a hustler. Pick a label, own it, and go happen to this situation. George just gave you the game plan. I'd be listening to that car in the next 5 minutes.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Cassie's in Denver. Hi, Cassie. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So my husband and I are on baby step 2 in the process of paying off our debts. And we discovered before we got married that my husband had about $17,000 in student debt. To kind of explain the situation, his parents agreed when they got divorced to pay for their kids' college tuition. So at the start of each semester, my husband's mom would send him cash, and his dad would ask that he take out a loan in my husband's name that his dad verbally agreed to pay back at the end of college, basically. So my husband also worked full-time, 40 hours. He ended up getting all of his tuition reimbursed. So at the end of each semester, he would send his mom the cash back and his dad the other half, and he thought he was paying those loans off. But come to find out, he spent that money instead, and now my husband still has $17,000 in student loans in his name with his dad's verbal agreement to pay it back.
Well, I think we see why they got a divorce.
Yes, it's one of the many reasons that he's poor with money. But we are
not that he borrows money, that he steals money from his kids. I mean, what kind of guy is this?
Yeah, and it's kind of hit to the point where we have a 4-month-old. We want to purchase a house soon. The question is, does that debt fall on us, or is essentially
it's in
his
your husband's
loan?
name.
Yeah, exactly. And so, do we delay buying the house to pay that off?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's as if
I'm
you got scammed
I'm guessing
here.
your father-in-law. I mean, this guy sounds like a real upstanding twerp. I'm guessing he doesn't have $17,000 to honor his word and pay this off, right?
He lives paycheck to paycheck and probably will for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And for some reason, we just trusted that he was going to go through with this whole deal.
But your husband did all this when he was a kid. He gave your dad, he's a college kid, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're 17, 18, your parents' finances are your finances.
Yeah, he sent him the money back then. He hasn't sent him money since y'all been married.
Correct. He sent him the money at the end of each semester.
Yeah, long time ago.
Being paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your household income?
About $116.
How much money do you have?
Right now we have. You mean like in savings?
Mm-hmm.
So we have our $1,000 emergency fund, and then we're just paying off our other debts, including.
So you're working a debt Snowball.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Cassie. How much other debt have you guys got?
So I have about 12,000 students, and then I have 23,000 on a car. I'm actively trying to sell it and get a lesser car, and he has about 10,000 on his truck that we've been snowballing. So.
Okay. Well, I'm guessing that this pattern of lack of integrity and irresponsibility has already put a strain on your husband's relationship with his dad. Not counting, not counting this here. If you just took this out, it was already a strain.
No, they haven't. My husband was pretty clueless until I got in the picture. He didn't, he's of the mindset it's his dad's responsibility. It was written in
No. You misunderstand me.
Yeah.
Your husband's dad is a twerp. Okay? The student loan's not the first time he was a twerp.
Correct, yes.
So I'm guessing that your husband is already strained just because his dad doesn't do the stuff he says he's going to do in general.
Correct. Yes, and you're right. He has done this before.
This is not he says he's going to be there for Christmas. He doesn't come. Or he says he's going to be there at 6 o'clock. He comes at 10 o'clock. Because he just doesn't, the world revolves around him. It doesn't occur to him that he's supposed to keep his word on anything.
Yep.
And that's why they're not married anymore. I mean, that's, so what I'm pointing out is the student loan is just one more brick in the wall of this guy's life. It's because it's very seldom that you'd have this as a standalone issue in his life, in the father-in-law's life. So my point is, put it in. You owe it legally. You're going to have to pay it. It's not going to go away until y'all pay it. So put it in your debt snowball. I'm so sorry you're having to do that. But then what y'all need to do is step back. And if I'm in your shoes, this pisses me off a lot because it delays when you get your house a little. And I would require that if I'm you, I don't, require is not the right word. I would want my spouse to say out loud how bad this is and not just act like this is okay. If your husband act like this is okay, it's going to make you really angry. This is not okay. This is not okay.
Does he still trust that his dad's going to pay this? I don't understand.
Yes, he does.
How?
And he did it for his sister as well, and he's actually missed payments on her plan, so her credit got really messed up from it.
There's nothing in the entire story that indicates he's ever going to pay this.
Yeah.
And so your husband owning that is going to help you relationally with your husband and help you emotionally. If I'm in your shoes, this is me anyway, it's going to help me. If this is my wife and she came in and she goes, look, this is awful. I'm so sorry. We got to pay this and it's wrong. And he's not going to do it. I wish he would do it. He's just not that guy. He's the guy that doesn't do what he says he's going to do. He's that guy. And so that's for you and your husband. Because there's nothing either one of y'all are going to do is going to change the twerp. The twerp's just a twerp. He just is. I mean, he's just over there, and you're not going to change him, and no amount of angry is going to make... There's no justice in this story. Justice will not be done in this story, this side of heaven, right? Because justice would be the old man paid the bill.
Right.
But that's... Nobody in this... Within the earshot of our microphones right now, 30 million people listening to this call, none of them think he's going to pay the bill. Your husband's the only one. So he needs to own that for the sake of your all's relationships, is what I'm saying. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
I'm not asking him to disown his father or never speak to him again. I'm not suggesting that. There's not molestation or something that's occurred here. There's nothing like that. This is just the old man didn't keep his word. Well, yeah, that happens a lot, I'm afraid. The old lady didn't keep her word. That happens a lot, I'm afraid. So, but you can love him where, he's just that guy over there. And I just love him but I'm certainly not going to do any business with this guy ever again.
Right.
I'm not going to trust him with any money, not going to send any money to him. Well, you're $17,000 in the hole to me. Let's just start the conversation there.
Yeah. But so the reality is you guys are in $62,000 of debt, your debt. You make $116,000, and this is a solvable problem. But it's going to delay your home purchase by a few years.
Well, not even, but
maybe 18 months is what it's going to take to get rid of all this debt. Unless you sell the car, it will happen even sooner. So
it's you're going to get there. You're going to get there. It's just.
But it's like you got scammed, is what it feels like.
Yeah, it's so
I got
emotional.
scammed. I'm out the money, and I still have to move forward.
I didn't just get scammed. I got scammed by my dad.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The person who's supposed to love me and protect me.
The very one that's supposed to not. It's like these parents that steal their kids' identity. It's a certain level of scum. It's a whole nother level of scum. When you steal your own kid's identity and you go open accounts in your kid's name. Oh my God. That's just, this guy didn't do that, but he's in the same bucket, And it's just awful. Oh, I'm so sorry. But the problem is when we get into these things, you get right down to the facts. The facts are, Cassie, that your husband has a student loan in his name. And no one's going to pay it if y'all don't. So you're in debt. So you got to clean it up. That's the facts. But the emotion around the facts is just nasty.
Well, and the whole situation from the beginning just sounded complicated and sketchy. It was like, well, you take that down in your name and I'll get you. You make the...
yeah, once you say that right there, you can see what's coming.
If Dad's not willing to take out the loan for himself, he wasn't willing to take on the risk, and he was not willing to pay.
Well, yeah.
He didn't have the money, and he doesn't now. He blew it somehow.
And Mom's over here handing cash, and he's handing her cash back.
Oh, my gosh.
And, yeah, you could tell what happened. You can tell what happened to that marriage. That's just awful. Yeah. Yeah, integrity shows up in everything, and it always shows up as a pattern, not a singular event. And that's what you're looking for. That's why I was saying that about...
It wasn't the first time, and it won't be the last.
No, it's not going to be the last time he doesn't keep his word on something. Create your free EveryDollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Pete, how are you?
about your same age, Dave, and I'm electronically challenged also.
Well, thanks. You and I are a pair, brother.
So
we'll
don't
try to
feel
get
bad.
through this together. George will help us.
I'm IT today.
All right.
What's going on?
Here's my question, but I imagine it's too late to do much. I was coming back through Iowa right before Thanksgiving, and my Duramax pickup truck broke down. Went into a dealership. They put a part on it that was wrong. I end up spending a night in a hotel. I end up having to have someone come get me. I don't get it back until New Year's Eve. And as this whole thing went on, they said, we got to compensate you somehow. We got to compensate. I'm working with customer service for this company. And they want to give me $100. And I'm talking to them on my way to go get the pickup truck. And I said, something's got to be settled before I pick it up, or you won't do a darn thing for me. They put parts on that I didn't need. It's because the computer told them to. Any ideas what I can do, Dave? I'm not very happy.
Without your authorization? I mean, did you not
Well,
you didn't have a discussion with them while the repair was going on?
Well, yeah, the computer said this is the part it needs. So I said, what, do I have a choice? And then, well, no, now it was this part the computer said it needed. And the computer was totally wrong. They called the engineers, and the engineers didn't know what was wrong with it. The technician found the part on his own. And I get a $6,800 repair bill before I can drive it out of there.
Whoa.
Yeah. I had called Ford and Dodge. I emailed them and asked if they wanted to trade me pickup trucks. I'd give them this one. We could do a commercial that Brand X had a pickup they didn't know how to fix.
Man, this is a bad situation. So you got 6,800 in repairs now.
The service department not only did not, I mean, you had no idea this bill was this high.
No. I knew the first $1,000 part. And then the parts that it took to finally fix it, they claimed was $3,000, which the service department, I can't really complain to them because they did what the company computer told them to do. You know, they plugged it into the computer as they do nowadays, and the computer was telling them what parts to put on.
But then their own technician also figured out that that was not what was wrong with it, that it was other stuff.
He found out eventually it was other stuff when the engineers at the head company couldn't figure it out. They threw their arms up.
Okay, so why are they trying to charge you for parts it did not need to require the repair then? They should just take those back off.
I had to pay the bill before I could drive it out of there.
Oh, so you've already paid the bill?
Yeah, I went to get it New Year's Eve. Yeah.
Okay.
They had it 5 weeks.
Yeah. I guess what I'm doing is I'm having a discussion with Dodge, and I'm having a discussion with the general manager of the dealership by phone.
It wasn't a Dodge truck.
Huh?
It wasn't a Dodge. Well, I don't want to say.
Okay.
I don't care.
Yeah.
What is it?
You can guess. It was a Chevy.
Okay. Then I'm sorry. You said Duramax. So talk to Chevy.
Yeah.
I mean, General Motors has good regional people to deal with complete screw-ups like this.
I worked with lady in customer service the whole time. We talked every week.
Yeah, this is beyond her, though. This is over her pay grade because they're going to need to write you a check. So somebody's going to write me a check for about half of this bill and refund, but it was not needed because I can put the tech on the stand in court, and the tech will tell me what it took to fix the car, and that they've overcharged me $3,000 worth of parts that weren't needed to fix the car, and then they're going to lose the case. And by the way, General Motors, nor does this dealer want to be in court over overcharging the consumer for this. They just messed up. Now, what they need to do is make it right.
The dealership, I got no problem with them. I think they went above and beyond for me. They did.
I got a problem with you. They charged you $6,800 for a repair that should have cost $3,000.
But the computer told them.
I don't give a crap who told them to do it. The end result is they screwed you.
It's their responsibility.
And they knew it was happening.
And I'm talking to
computers don't run this place. People run the place. We tell the computers what to do. That's how life works. So, no, yeah. I think the general manager and you need to have a conversation. You and Chevy Regional, not customer service, need to have a conversation. And somebody needs to talk about, okay, the computer program, the diagnostics are screwed up, and based on your computer program being screwed up at the manufacturer's level, Chevy's level, then you need to, you guys did a wrong repair and you overcharged me and you need to refund me for that. And I don't care if Chevy writes the check or the dealership writes the check. I suspect it'll be Chevy because they'll probably cover for the dealer because the dealer was doing what Chevy told them to do. So that's, I guess, is how it'll go down. But I got to tell you, man, truthfully, I'll be shocked if you don't get some resolution if you lean in on it. And just make it a very simple thing. The repair should have been around $3,000 based on what the tech finally found out. The tech and the service bay were misled by a faulty computer by a faulty computer diagnosis. That's your all's fault. It's not mine. I'm the consumer, and you need to make this right.
Yeah.
And somebody needs to write me a check back. I shouldn't be charged for these parts that were not needed for the repair. That's not right. And if you guys don't make it right, then we can make it right by talking about it on the internet and put it in, going to court. It's all going to be messy. It's going to be a lot messier than $6,000 for you. And then I'm going to have to sue you for like $1 million because I'm pissed. And, all this, I don't want to do all that. And it's just not worth it. It's just, you guys because it's Chevy and you guys do the right thing. Because I got to tell you what, generally speaking, our working with people that have had problems over the years, Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Nissan, they do a good job of doing the right thing at the corporate level on this type of situation. They really, we don't run into them just messing people over. They just don't. Number one, they build a good product, and number two, this doesn't happen that much, and so they've been making customers happy a long time.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to stand up for yourself financially, advocate for yourself, be a little bit bad cop. I don't care. They're not your friends. I don't care how nice they were. Yeah. This is $3,000 that they stole from you.
And I don't even care whose fault it is. It wasn't mine. It's one of you guys over here. One of you people messing with my truck. I don't know who it was. Some of y'all screwed up. And then you overcharged me.
Just send Dave over there.
And held me hostage.
Yeah. I'm going to hire a new service where Dave Ramsey fights it. That would be fun.
That'll be expensive.
Yeah, you're right. We can't afford that. I'll do it.
Lauren's with us in Richmond, Virginia. Hi, Lauren. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Thank you so much for taking my call. God bless you. I love what you do.
Thank you. Love what you do. Well, how can we help?
We are a happily married couple, 25 years, just about to be empty nesters, and we feel like we have missed the financial boat, so to speak. We started out ready to invest around 2001 when the tech crash happened, and so we didn't invest in the stock market and things like that because we were concerned. We were just saved up enough money and were getting ready to invest when the 2008 real estate crash happened. And again, we pulled back and did not invest. So we just stayed put and we just kept saving. And now all we hear is cash is trash and the American dollar is in trouble. And we feel like we have missed the boat and we're concerned now that maybe we missed a way to help us retire.
How much do you have in savings?
$2 million.
Okay, I'm absolutely amazed. And so all of this money is just money you put in there because you've never really made any money on your money.
No, we've hardly made any. We have self-laddered CDs and done some bonds, but
basically your rates of return have sucked, and you still got to $2 million. And you're still afraid
to invest? Yes.
Okay, but you have $2 million. So how did you miss the boat?
Yeah.
How big a boat were you wanting to get on?
I was going to say that's a great boat.
Okay, but we don't know now that our kids' stuff has been paid for, college and things like that. We just never took any time to do anything or plan for us, as much as just keep our head down and work hard. And now we picked our head up. And
what boat did you miss? You missed out on a bunch of returns that you could have had $4 or $6 million instead of $2 million, but you still have $2 million. So I don't think we can really cry a river here.
Okay, but when you say $4 or $6 million, that makes me really sad. But there's no way to fix the past.
No, all you can do is think about the future. Okay, so let me parrot back to you what you said to me.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you got up the courage to invest, you found a negative story somewhere that caused you to not do it. Fear.
Yes. Yes.
And now your new fear is the American dollar is going to pot. That's your latest one.
Yes.
That's your latest one.
Yes.
And have you noticed that your other two fears didn't come true?
Yes. I don't like roller coasters. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, but the roller coaster, even with the roller coaster, you wouldn't have lost all your money. You would not have been broke and homeless. That the 2008 real estate crash actually had almost, in the stock market crash, it came back and, it went all the way down to 6,300 and it's at 30,000 Dow today. And so, you missed out on all of that. Yeah, it's a ride, but, you're going to either not have, if you had ridden the roller coaster, you might have had $8 million.
Yep.
And so even if the roller coaster screws up, it's got to really screw up to end up with nothing. You follow?
Yes.
And so I don't think that I personally am not of the belief that America is coming to an end. She's got her problems. We have a whole truckload of idiots in both sides of the aisle in D.C., and thank God it is not up to them. It's up to people like you and me out here that actually get things done as to how this nation runs and whether this nation works and whether we learn to treat each other with some respect out here. And so, there's all this craziness on the news cycle is it's just nutty everywhere. So, but all of that said, I don't think that, I'm 60, I'm older than you, and I have 100% of my retirement in mutual funds, and a whole bunch of our wealth, more than that, in real estate that I paid cash for, because I think in both cases they are going to go up in value dramatically more than CDs will go up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are they going to go straight up? No, they go up and they go down, and they go up and they go down. And can you stand the ride? So let me give you an exercise or two, okay? Because here's the thing.
Okay.
There's two kinds of fear. There's fear that keeps you from touching a hot stove or playing in traffic, because those things will get you hurt. That's good fear. It protects you. The other fear is false evidence appearing real. Okay. And that's the fear you've been operating on. And I know that because, for instance, if you will pull up, just go visit with one of our SmartVestor pros and ask them to show you some examples. Don't buy anything. Just go over there and start to learn. Ask them to show you examples of, during these very volatile times, what did Mutual Fund A, Mutual Fund B, and Mutual Fund C do? And follow what they did and say, okay, had I invested in that through what I feel like were very turbulent times, I don't like roller coasters. Quote, here's the roller coaster ride I would have signed up for. I think you perceive it to be the world's tallest coaster, and you're going to go, oh, that's kind of like the kiddie park. When you actually look at the actual history and the actual math. Listen, I don't like starting over. I went broke. I don't want to start over. So I'm not investing in stuff that's high risk either. I don't like extreme volatility. I don't like high risk. I don't personally invest in any of those kinds of things. So I don't have money in Bitcoin. I don't play the roulette wheel in Vegas. I don't run up a bunch of debt trying to make money. I do very low risk stuff. And so I think you need to learn about the historical data on some actual real mutual funds, and you will be amazed at how much less the risk was than your emotions are perceiving it. And I think that'll help set you free. Because here's the deal. You're going to be fine. You got $2 million. You're going to be fine. Congratulations. You're amazing. That was an amazing task that you've accomplished. But if you keep in mind this, if it's invested at 10% rate of return instead of 1%, it's going to double every 7 years. So when you're 64, you're going to go 2 to 4 to 8. Oh, and when you're 71, it's 16. If it's at 1%, it's not even going to go up $1 million between now and 71. So you're either going to have 2 million or 16 million between now and early 70s, depending on how much you're willing to learn. And if you learn to drive a car, then driving a car is not scary. But otherwise, they make loud noises, and people honk the horns on them, and the wheels screech, and they're really scary until you learn how to drive them. So I'm never going to learn how to drive a car. That's false evidence appearing real. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So I recently got engaged. My fiance and I are both 36 years old. We're looking to start a Brady Bunch. We've got 5 kids between 10 and 12 between us.
Oh, wow. Between 10 and 12? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I have twin sons who are 11, and she has a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, and 12-year-old.
Oh, my
wow.
gosh. That's going to be a house full. That's fun. So great.
Yeah, it's been really fun. Yep. So the reason I'm calling is because we have a pretty large difference in assets. And I think based on your advice, the advice would be that we should get a prenup. So I have roughly $12 million, and she has roughly $50,000. And so we started the process of looking into a prenup, and it's been an emotional one. And I totally understand why. And I think especially, like, we went through a questionnaire talking together about it. But then when we got the first draft back from my lawyer, that's when she's really not been feeling good about it. And I understand the concern. So, I mean, she feels like I wouldn't be fully entering the marriage in the same way that she is, because it feels like I'm holding assets like separately off to the side. And I'm sensitive to that, and especially in some of the context of her former relationship. And so I'm just looking for maybe more clarity and like what you guys would recommend.
Oh, man, this is a hard one because I think it is a wise decision to do one. And I say that even more. I have a friend who's going through not a great situation, and she came in with a lot more. And now he's just, it's just messy. It's messy. And there's a level, again, you're hoping and praying, obviously, that this is the one and that it's going to last a lifetime. Mm-hmm. But as you guys have experienced, there is a reality to all of this. And whenever any of us get married, right? I think there is this, okay, I'm choosing you for a reason and for a lifetime. But we also don't live under a rock and know that things change in life and situations come up, and unfortunately some really hard things happen and does causes marriages to break up, right? To enter into divorce, and we don't want that. So what were I'm curious, what were the parts of it that was making her, because you guys went through a questionnaire together and it didn't sound like the questionnaire brought up a lot of red flags, but when she was actually reading it, does she feel like she won't be taken care of if something happens, or what's that underlying?
That's a concern. Yeah. Yes. And I think especially her kids as well too. And it's something that I want to address, and I think we could address in a will or some other document or method after we get married. And it's something that I want to do. I absolutely would want her and her kids to be taken care of too if something didn't happen to us. I think it also it feels very condescending to her that that either she, and I don't see it being a problem for her at all. My goal in this, and I think that's what your advice is that in our case, that I know is rare, it would help protect our marriage, and that's what I want to do. But I totally understand that she feels it's condescending, to her, maybe her and her family and her friends, that they might be a problem, and that we would need this to protect against them.
Can I ask how stringent this prenup is, how strict it is? Because when I've heard calls about this before, my question is always, is there a way that this can be more progressive, that over time and over years, some of the restrictions fall off? Does that make sense to where it's the longer we're together and the more that this feels right, some of this starts to fall off, and now we start to become one, and after a while it's all gone and we are one? Is there anything built in like that?
So there's nothing currently built in like that. So other than that, it's pretty basic. So everything we enter into the marriage with is separate property, except she has a small amount of debt, and she's been awesome about eliminating debt, especially the situation she came from. But I don't want her to carry it all. We would just pay it off. And then everything after the date of the marriage is shared. So income that I make or she made, we just share it. Our plan is that she would stop working. She'd be able to be home with all these kids.
Does that include interest on the 12 million, like as that grows, or does any growth on that 12 million remain yours?
Yeah, so at least as it's currently structured, the growth in that would remain mine. I think we have talked about, it's not in the document, but like if I were to stop working to also help with the kids, which would be an option, like that the income that we drew from that would be considered our income.
I think I would. I'd be wondering about that if I were entering in that marriage. Like, how can we protect what you've already created, but how can I be a player and how that grows from here on out? Like, how can I be a part of that? I think I might be wondering about that. That's tough, man.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and then the only other additional part is we're planning to get a house, and I was just going to buy the house. We title it in both of our names. I just consider it community property.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're being very gracious about this, Derek. I think it's such a hard line to be wise in a situation and being. I mean, you don't sound like you're drawing these crazy hard lines, and you know what I mean. And you're pushing it like it's. Your tone feels very humble and gracious, which I think she probably very much appreciates. I'm trying to think if I were in her position, which you never can fully do for somebody, there's a part of me that, I don't know, I think I would understand you're coming in with 12 million. Yeah. And I understand that's not mine right now, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah, this one's hard for me. I see.
Are you an anti-prenup?
No, I'm not. I would not go that far. I think it's just it is a very tough way to start out a marriage. Clearly, because we're dividing yours versus mine. Yeah, and everything else in the marriage is we say we, us, our. So it is tough. And if you're a person, I'll put myself in the shoes. Me. I've always viewed, when you enter a marriage, it's like this. Yes. You don't know who you're going to fall in love with. And that person happens to be loaded. And now suddenly you're like, this picture I had of it being ours is not possible. That's just tough. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just tough.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, Derek, I think it's too, I think it can feel like the 12 million's off in this corner and we're never going to participate in it. But I think it comes into it's mine if something happens. But up until that point, it's ours. Like we're sharing assets.
That's a good point. That is a very good point.
Like we are living our lives together as one. But for some reason, if something ever happened in a divorce, this part still goes back to me. Does that make sense? I wonder if framing it.
That's a good way to frame it because that
with her because it can be hers, right? Like you guys can share in this. It's the only time it's not hers is if you guys legally go through a divorce. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it totally makes sense. And that is how we want to live going into the marriage.
Yeah, and it sounds like and that sounds like your attitude because you're going to take some of our money and we're going to buy a house together with this money and use this money for our family. So I think it's such a fine line, Derek. I mean, it's so hard, but I think I would keep and bring in a third party. If there's a great marriage counselor or therapist, honestly, it's something to think through and even get other opinions because you want to be on the same page with this.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Elena. Is that Elena? Hi, Elena.
Yes.
Oh,
hello.
I screwed up. I hit the wrong button. Okay, what's up?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Better now. How can I help?
Yes, so I have a quick question. I currently have about $60,000 in my savings account, and I'm not too sure what to do next. I definitely want to make my money grow. So, there's like a slow process where you could do like a savings certificate, but I want to see if there's any other options that will definitely help me get, I get more money built up or such.
Well done. Where'd you get the $60,000?
So I've been saving since before college. But it has increasingly went up with my full-time job that I recently got, and other side hustles that I've been doing that just has helped me accumulate that amount.
Elena, that's amazing. Way to go. Do you have any debt?
No, not at the moment.
I'm curious, how did you pay for college?
With college, I had a ton of scholarly scholarships. I also had private scholarships, and then I would pay school. If I had any money that I had to owe from the school, I did have a part-time job at the time where I would just use the money to pay it off while also saving.
You're amazing. Way to go. That's just incredible. I love that. Just out of curiosity for myself, where did you get that mindset? How did you learn so early on that you wanted to save aggressively, that you wanted your savings account to look like that?
Well, it all started when I first got my job. I was paid cash, so having that money in my hands and being able to like see how much it goes down with buying something from the store just taught me that I wanted to have my hands full with money, not empty by just purchasing random stuff. And so the first thing that I saved up for that was pretty big was a car. And I was able to learn that you can get mostly whatever you want. You just have to look hard enough. That's how I was able to find my first car for $3,000. And from there, that helped a ton since I didn't have to do monthly payments or anything. I just did it
Very well done. So what do you do for a living?
So right now, I'm a data scientist at a car dealership.
Yeah, what do you make?
About $84,000.
Good for you. Okay, so here's the thing that we teach. The shortest distance between where you are and being wealthy is a series of steps. Baby step 1 is save $1,000. You've done that. 2 is to be debt-free other than your home. You've done that. 3 is to have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. So we would earmark some of your $60,000 for your emergency fund. We could call that $15,000 pretty comfortably as an example, okay, which would still leave you $65,000. What are we going to do with that? We're going to move on to baby step 4 and or start, you earmark this for saving towards a home, either one. You thinking about buying a home anytime soon?
I wouldn't say a home just yet. I do have a partner, and we're thinking of buying a property so that we can rent it out with other homes, like mobile homes and such.
Yeah, I would not do that.
Use that as,
I would not do that. Don't buy real estate with partners. If you want to buy some real estate, you buy the real estate, but you don't need a partner to do that.
Okay.
You're going to involve yourself in a mess that you're going to end up untangling later. The only ship that won't sail is a partnership. So I assume that you mean that kind of business partner. Is that what you meant?
No, an actual relationship partner.
Okay. Well, if you're not married to someone, don't buy a house with them.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, because you're setting yourself up again for all kinds of problems if this relationship doesn't go forward. So if you're married, there's a methodology called divorce that takes the property and splits it up. There's not when you're not. And so don't do that. Now, as far as then what we would just move on to is you're just an investor, okay? You're either going to buy real estate with this other $65,000 and or you're going to start putting money into your retirement plan, into good growth stock mutual funds. We recommend that you put 15% of your income every year at baby step 4 into good growth stock mutual funds into a retirement plan. And that's if you've got a 401k at work, you get the match first. If it's a Roth 401k, you can stay there. Otherwise, after the match, you would need to move on and do Roth IRAs. And the mutual funds are growth and income, aggressive growth, and international. You're looking for mutual funds with long track records, 10, 20, 30-year track records. And you need to learn about those as you're putting money into that. Sit down with one of our SmartVestor pros. They'll help you do that. The SmartVestor pros don't work for us, but they're people that teach the same stuff that we teach, and they'll help you with picking out the mutual funds, teach you that. They're investment brokers. You can find them at RamseySolutions.com and click on SmartVestor Pro. So, yeah, that's the process we would use to lead you there. Hang on, we're going to send you a copy of the Total Money Makeover book, which outlines that for you in great detail. So, Christina, the only she had done so many things right, but she could undo every bit of it with one wrong move. And that's buying a house with someone you're not married to, or buying a investment property with someone you're not married to. And that will get you into a mess.
Yeah, we've seen that several times. And I think that's kind of a dangerous spot whenever you don't have a proven plan. It's easy to start to get to that wealth building spot and see all the TikTok crazes and see all the different, quick ways to make money. And it's like you can get really lost in that. But Eleni, you have done such an amazing job thus far. I love that you've been so aggressive with your savings. Follow the plan. It's not the most flashy, TikTok crazy plan, but it's proven. It has worked for millions of people.
I think we ought to put the plan on TikTok. I think it'd be good.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I told the guys to get us a TikTok account and let's get it on there. I'm ready for it. So. Starting off this hour is going to be Houston, Texas. Rashina is with us. Hey, Rashina, how are you?
I've been better, Dave.
Uh-oh. What's going on?
I hate to use this term, but I'm drowning. I've been reading your books and your program for the last couple months, what I could get at the library and watching your videos online. But everything's kind of come to a head, and I'm losing myself a lot, and I'm not sure what to do. I'm considering bankruptcy at this point. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to go back to school. I just honestly don't know what to do right now.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Mm-hmm. And how much do you make a year?
At best, I make around $19,000.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
Right now, I'm a substitute teacher.
Okay. So you have a teaching certificate?
No, I owe a debt that's actually preventing me from getting a certificate. So
I don't understand.
I owe a college. In order to do the teaching program in Texas, you have to have all your transcripts. But because I owe a school, they won't release it.
Oh.
And they won't let me go with the transcripts I have.
I got you. And how much do you owe them?
I owe them around $1,300.
$1,300?
Yes.
Okay. And how quickly would you land a job were you to get your transcript, do you think?
Pretty quickly. I've been subbing. I know this is going to sound so silly, but I've been subbing for about 4 years. The thing is, the money's not constant. I'm not working during the summers. I don't work during major holidays. So.
Do you live on your own?
Yes.
Man, you're barely making it, aren't you, kiddo?
I'm barely making it. Yeah. I owe so much student loan debt.
How much other student loan debt do you have? Not counting this $1,300.
$62,000.
Yeah, that's overwhelming. Making 19. And what other kind of debt have you got?
I have consumer debt. I've taken out. I know some stupid decisions. I've taken out payday loans. I have a car note that got repossessed last year. They want $12,000 on it. Mm-hmm. And I have a new car loan because I couldn't pay cash. So I'm paying that too.
How much do you owe on that car?
The one right now around $5,000.
Mm-hmm. How much is your payment?
It's $200 a month.
Okay. All right. Well, let's walk through this for a second, okay? If you were to file bankruptcy, a Chapter 7 bankruptcy is the type of bankruptcy that cleans off all your debts, okay? Student loan debt is not bankruptable. So a bankruptcy would not clean off the $62,000. It might clean off the $1,300 one. I don't know. That sounds like that's a private debt, and that one might be cleaned. It would clean off your old repossession. It would clean off the payday loans. It would not clean up the $5,000 debt on the car unless you turn the car in. You don't get to get rid of the debt and keep the car. You follow me?
Yes, sir.
So you either keep the debt and keep the car, or you turn the car in and can get rid of that debt. Okay?
Okay.
If you want my opinion, I don't think you have a debt problem as much as you have a huge income problem.
I definitely agree with that.
If we could increase your income $10,000, $15,000 a year, you still wouldn't be making a ton of money, but it would change your life right now. Because let me kind of give you this number, okay? $1,300 changes your income because you get the transcripts back. $5,000 gets rid of the car debt. How much is on these stupid payday loans?
Well, I only took out $800, but as you know, the interest rate.
Yeah, how much do you owe on the stupid payday loans?
$1,700 now.
Okay, so let's do this math. $8,000, $1,700 there, $1,300 at the college, $5,000 on your car changes your whole life.
Yes, sir.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
$8,000, and then you've got a student loan that you're going to have to work your way through, but you got to work your way through that anyway. You're not getting away from that one. And you've got an old repo of $12,000 that you probably could settle for a couple grand. So $10,000 cleans up your entire life and makes it awesome, not counting the fact you got to fight through $62,000 worth of student loans. So, that tells me that you really don't have a bankruptcy problem. You've really got a debt problem. You got an income problem. So,
all right.
How much is your rent?
About $600.
Okay.
A month.
Okay. And so here's what I want you to. Have you ever waited tables or delivered pizzas?
A couple of years ago, I was a waitress when I was a teen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you're 26, you said.
28.
28. Okay. All right. What I would tell you to do, if I woke up in your shoes knowing what I know, and see, I don't have all the emotions of being overwhelmed and scared. I'm just looking at the math. So I've got an advantage right now. Okay? You've got the emotions of being overwhelmed and scared. I'm just looking at the math. And that gives me an advantage. I'm outside the forest, so I can see all the trees. You following me?
Yes, sir.
So I get that you're overwhelmed and scared, but I can tell you how to fix it. I mean, if I were you, I'd start working about 80 hours a week, 90 hours a week. I'd be delivering pizzas and waiting tables and whatever else you can come up with to make money. Tutoring, I'd be tutoring my little butt off. And a lady was on here last hour making $30 an hour in Charlotte tutoring as a teacher. And that's how she got out of debt. $30 an hour would change your life, Pick up 3 or 4 kids, pick up 3 or 4 places you can wait tables, and pick up odd jobs doing whatever. I don't know what you can do that's legal and moral, but I want you to go make an extra $2,000 or $3,000 a month. But you don't have no life. You can't breathe. You're so tired, your nostrils hurt. You follow me? You don't have to worry about it, though. You won't die from hard work. Right before you die, you'll pass out. You'll be okay. You follow me?
Yes, sir.
You need to work your butt off, your fingers to the bone, and go make you $10,000 in the next 4 months. Christmas, I want you debt-free except the student loans and the car repo. You get your transcripts back. You get the payday lenders out of your life. Don't you ever go in one of those places again. They're killing you. And get your car paid off, and then you're going to have a life. You feel it?
Okay.
You can do this. I'll walk with you. You call me back while you're working on it, and you and I will do this together. And you hold on. I'm going to put you through Financial Peace University, too. Get a community in your life where you can walk through this and get it done. You got this, kid. You can do it. But you just need a little bit of money, and the way to get that's work like a crazy person. Hold on. Kelly will pick up.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
Jim, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help today?
Well, I'm looking for some advice on how to invest $120,000 in cash.
Whoa.
I retired in 2010 from my first job. Been working a second job full-time now. And over the years, I've saved a lot of money. And I've got about 3 different bank accounts with money in, so I'm financially good there. But I have $120,000 in tin cans buried in the backyard that ain't making me no money.
Wow.
So I thought I would try to find out what I can do.
We finally found the guy with the tin cans of money in the backyard.
Wow.
Let's start with your address. Where exactly can we find? Let's go on a treasure hunt. He's like, my name's not Jim, and I don't live in Austin. Fooled you.
Well, if I told you, I'd have to shoot you.
Oh man,
I believe you, Jim. I'm not going near Jim's property. So you've done a great job saving. Do you have any debt?
I have no debt whatsoever. In 2010, I paid everything off, and I work some for the municipality that I work for now, and I do a lot of security jobs on the side, and I have been able to really, really save a lot of money. The wife is retired, and I should be retired. I'm at 67 years old. But,
do you just like working?
I do like working. I don't like sitting at home. When I retired in 2010, I stayed retired 6 months. Didn't like it, so I got a job.
Good for you. That's awesome.
So
okay. How much money do you have? Do you have anything invested, or is this all just sitting in checking accounts and savings accounts?
Well, I have 2 bank accounts, 2 different banks, and then I have a credit union with some money in it too. So those 3 accounts is only making whatever the interest rate is for the banks.
Oh, that stinks.
So it's not.
What's the total of all that money that's in the banks?
About $125,000.
Okay, so you got 125 in banks and then 120,000 in cash, and you're wanting to invest this.
And I wanted to invest at least the 120,000 in cash because I know it's not making me any money.
Well, even the money that's sitting in those banks, you could do way better in a high yield savings account. You could be making 3 or 4% on that instead of 0 to 0.5%.
Okay, well that's what the advice I need and how to do that and what to do to get to that point. Now I would tell you, I have a CD for the wife in one of the accounts for $6,000, so there's another $6,000 there. And then I do invest in the 457 program. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, how that works through the county.
Is that like a deferred compensation?
Exactly.
Okay.
And I have about $15,000 in that. So,
do you have any retirement options through your current employer?
Yes.
What are those options?
Well, I'm drawing an annuity from my first job, a considerable amount of money. I'm drawing Social Security because I'm at 66 in 2 months. I'm drawing full Social Security there.
How much? Do you have a 401k or anything through work?
No.
Okay.
It's the 2-to-1 match through the county. I was a TMRS before when I was retired from the other one. Now it's a Texas Municipal County retirement.
Okay.
Both of them are good retirements.
So do you need the income created from these investments, or are you living off of the annuity and Social Security plus your current income?
That's what I'm living off of. I don't really use this other money for anything other than just sitting there.
Okay.
Even in the bank accounts, just let it sit there.
So I would leave enough to have a fully funded emergency fund in that high yield savings account, and it sounds like you'd be more comfortable having more money in there. Are you going to plan on making any big purchases in the next few years?
No.
Okay, you got a paid for house?
Yes, sir.
Great. So the first focus you want to look into is tax advantaged accounts, meaning things that have some kind of tax implication that can help you avoid paying Uncle Sam his due. Right. And so that would be things like a 401k or anything Roth. So a Roth IRA. What's your household income?
It's just me right now. So it's, let's see, 30, 60, probably around 90 to 100,000 a year.
Okay. Yeah, you've got options to make this work a whole lot more for you than these bank accounts. And so
tomorrow the wife starts on her Social Security, so we'll have her income coming.
Woo! Payday.
Yes.
Well, you guys have done really well. I mean, I know it hurts to look back and go, man, over the 12 years this money's been sitting here, it could have grown at 8 to 10 to 12%, and instead it just couldn't beat inflation.
But I could kick myself for letting it sit there, but
let's look to the future.
Retire and be comfortable, I need some advice and some help to get some kind of investments in it.
Yeah. Well, I would for sure, you need to connect with an investing professional who can walk you through all of your options and dig into all the details. And we've got some that we vet all over the country. We have some in the Austin, Texas area that can help you. If you just jump on to RamseySolutions.com and click on Ramsey Recommends, you can connect with a SmartVestor Pro. And they'll walk you through, hey, Jim, here's all of your options that we could do with this money. They're not going to force you to do anything. You still call the shots. They're just going to educate you on what you could do and where to invest that money to help it grow. They're probably going to recommend things like mutual funds. These are groups of hundreds and thousands of stocks that can help your money grow with way less risk than just a single stock in one company.
Okay.
That's an example. There's index funds that you could also invest in, which are just tracking, like the S&P 500, tracking the top 500 publicly traded companies and their growth. Or kind of all banking. That's what the economy is really based on when we look at the stock market, is that S&P 500. So there's a lot of options, and you still got time. How old are you?
I'm 67.
So, I mean, Jim, we still got, 30 years ahead of us here to invest this money and let it grow.
Hope so. Yes, sir.
You got kids?
That's what I'm looking for. Yes, but they're all married and grown, and I've got 3 grandkids and 1 on the way.
I love that. Well, I'm a Bible believer, man, and it says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And so that's a great goal for you to have.
Well, I do have, for the 3 that I already have, I do have bank accounts for them set up at the credit union.
Love it. Man, well, you're off to a great start. You've got some homework to do, Jim, which is let's research a good high-yield savings account. There's a ton out there. You can look into Marcus by Goldman Sachs or Ally. We don't have any affiliation with them. You just want to make sure they're FDIC insured, which means your money's covered just like it would be with that credit union, and those for sure are. And then connect with that SmartVestor Pro and get investing. Don't just leave this sitting in a checking account. Breaks my heart to hear you got 6 figures that have been sitting out there for over a decade, man, but you've done really well, and being debt-free really helps the situation, Jade. We love to hear that. So thanks for the call, Jim.
Cheyenne is with us in Arizona. Hi, Cheyenne. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Rachel and Dave. Thank you for having me.
Sure. What's up?
I have a question. I'm 55, a widow. I'm out of debt, and I have about $400,000 just sitting in the bank. I am one of those investment-resistant people. I feel like it's out of my control. I have did a deep dive into trying to invest and talked to 2 different people who were financial people and got very deep in what they were recommending to me. But as I was researching it, there'd be something there that I just didn't want to invest in, a McDonald's or a Pepsi or some kind of chemical farming or things like that. And I've downsized my lifestyle. I've been a medical person for 30 years, so I'm semi-retired. I could go back tomorrow and do that. Income's not a problem. I just would like to know what your opinion is. Someone like me, it's like you think, oh my goodness, it's not growing. I have a friend that just lost $80,000 in the last month, a whole year of her income based on the market where she had the money. And that just feels so out of control for me to put it somewhere where I have no control.
Your friend was investing in some kind of high-risk something to lose $80,000 in 1 month. Or she has $2 million invested, one of the two. Which is it?
Okay. Well, I don't know the person. It's something to do with their work.
Okay. See, that was a high-risk single-stock investment. Mm-hmm. And so that's not... See, the stock market represents everything from ultra-high-risk, scary, crazy stuff down to things that are just plain boring. And so when someone says they lost money in the market, it can mean that they were virtually gambling in Las Vegas, or it can mean that they just panic every time that the needle moves a little bit. But you don't have a stomach for it, is what you're saying. And you can't.
I don't have the stomach for it.
And you've attempted to gain enough knowledge to get some peace, and it hasn't worked. So, but you can't leave $400,000 sitting at 1% either. That's why you called. Agreed?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, because you're making nothing. So, what about buying some real estate that creates some income?
Well, I did that. I did 2 houses and turned them in during COVID, but of course it was COVID, and so everything was twice as much, and the help was. So, I mean, I didn't lose, but it certainly wouldn't show it wouldn't have been worth it. In other words, so that's
if you continue to jump in and out of things, you're always going to lose money. You got to ride the wave out,
and not necessarily redoing a property, but just buying one, renting it out, and having that passive income.
If you had a $40,000 property, a $400,000 property simple piece of nice house that someone rented for $3,000 or $4,000 a month, you'd be making a whole lot more than you would on the bank.
That's true. It's something I don't enjoy. I've had many years of it, and not the best years of it.
So Cheyenne, I have a question.
Real estate isn't.
You presented two problems with investing. One, it was companies that you just didn't agree with morally. You mentioned like Pepsi or McDonald's, right? I'm guessing you just don't agree with them as companies, and the fear that you're going to lose money. Which is greater? Do you feel like which part of it makes it like ugh?
Oh, I guess in one sense, I want to put my money where my heart is, and have it manifest something good on the earth.
Okay, what would that be?
I don't know. I've been trying to search and find it. Yeah. Maybe there's some good funds where people are Christ-centered, and you don't find out at the top that they're moving against mankind. I'd like to invest in something that means maybe food. I don't know.
Okay. Well, there's number one, when you're dealing with a mutual fund, you're dealing with 90 to 200 different companies inside of a mutual fund. And at any given time, one of those companies could have some kind of a business practice, disclosed or undisclosed, that somebody doesn't agree with. Okay? Now, you're not giving them money when you buy their stock. Okay? If you buy stock in a company from me, you gave me the money. Now, you are benefiting when they make a profit and the stock goes up in value. You are benefiting from their actions that you don't agree with. And so that part I do understand. But if there's 90 to 200 and one half of one of the companies is doing something wrong, that's kind of like you shopping at a grocery store that also sells stuff you don't agree with, but you bought the stuff you do agree with there. You really can't find something that's 100% pure in this world, this side of heaven. Now, I will tell you one thing to investigate. There's a group out of Atlanta called the Timothy Fund. The Timothy Fund. And it is a mutual fund, and their goal is to invest in companies to avoid investing in companies that engage in anything they consider to be non-Christian. And so, for instance, they don't invest in any tobacco companies or alcohol companies. They might invest in a chemical company you don't agree with, based on what you're saying. I don't know, but the Timothy Fund is actually done. It's a moral-based fund, a Christian-based idea, and they've done very well. They've got a good long-term track record. You might investigate them and learn about them. I'm not associated with them in any way. I don't have any money in there, and I'm not because I'm against them. It's just not the process I have used to do analysis for my fund picks. But I've been aware of them for over a decade, and they've got the main central fund has probably got a 20-year track record, and it's beating the market. Yeah. And and
I would say too, Cheyenne, if you decide to step into something because you're wanting to make more than just 1%, you don't have to just do all 500,000. Like, do 50,000 for a year and see how that feels, and maybe you take another 100,000. Right? Like, you can kind of move your way into this, but for your benefit long term, for you to even be generous on the other end, to be able to give some money away to things that you really do care about. Making that money is part of that.
I appreciate your pure heart, but that bank that's paying you 1%, I'll guarantee you they're engaged in things you don't like. I can just 100% guarantee that. So there's not a place you can hide in this world from that. No, I'll just promise you they're donating the things you don't agree with. I can promise you they are. Sarah is with us in Denver. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I am wondering about bankruptcy. I didn't think we would end up here, but sure enough, we are. We previously already had about $82,000 in debt, and then I had a medical emergency with no insurance that put me in the hospital. And now, on top of that $82,000, I have a $65,000 medical bill. So that puts us around $147,000 in debt. And I didn't calculate our take-home pay, but adjusted gross income is only about $80,000.
Okay. And what is the other $80,000 in debt? Break it down for me.
I have $27,000 in credit card debt. We have $42,000 in 2 car loans, $6,800 in a signature loan, $700 in a personal loan, and we still owe $600 on cell phones.
Okay. No student loans.
No student loans.
Okay. All right. Well, there's 2 kinds of bankruptcy, Chapter 13 and Chapter 7, that are primarily available to somebody in your situation. Chapter 13 is where you pay a payment plan, and everyone gets repaid some or all of what they are owed, but they are kept under control while you do that, to keep them from suing you or taking something or garnishing your wages or that kind of stuff, okay? The second type of bankruptcy is called a Chapter 7, and that's what we usually think of when we think of bankruptcy, and it's the atom bomb dropped on it. It's the clean slate, okay? And under a Chapter 7, you're allowed to keep a certain amount of personal assets and your personal exemption, it's called, and it's different from state to state. I don't know what it is in Colorado. It's typically around $10,000 worth of stuff, which usually means your used furniture in your house you could keep. Do you own your home?
We don't. We're renting. So we're definitely thinking Chapter 13 because we need to keep a vehicle. We have a big family, so we could probably sell one of the vehicles, but the other vehicle is a passenger van.
Right.
So it's not like we could sell it and buy a car. We wouldn't be able to transport everybody.
So you have a large family?
We do. It's myself and my husband, and we have 7 children.
Okay. Chapter 7, in a Chapter 7 as well, going back to that, you can only keep secured assets if you agree to pay them. So you technically could file, in 90-something% of the cases, you could file a Chapter 7, wipe off everything that you've given me except the cars, or car. If you want to turn in one of the cars, you could, but you can reaffirm the debt if the lender will allow it, and most of the time they will. Reaffirm the debt. And so you would just pick back up and keep paying the payment. If you don't pay the payment, you don't get to keep the lien, whatever it is has a lien against it. So you're going to come out of this with 1 car or 2 cars with debt against them, regardless of which type of bankruptcy you go through. Okay?
Okay.
So that's all a possibility. And they do what's called a means test, which is a mathematical formula when you sit down with the attorney that is mandated by the federal government, because bankruptcy is federal court, that to see if you can repay. I think the means test would likely throw you into a payment plan. You're probably not qualified for a 7.
That's what we were thinking.
Yeah. So it probably throws you into that. And so basically in a Chapter 13, you're going to pay all of this, or some percentage of it. And so I never really understand why you would do a Chapter 13 if that's the case. Why not?
I think for us, we're having a hard time monthly, every month. We're barely making it. So if they could...
So don't pay it. You're acting like this is a debt consolidation. Bankruptcy is in the same category as divorce. It's what you do after you've tried everything else and the world has come to an end.
We have tried everything else. I was a stay-at-home mom. I'm now working at home while my kids sleep. My husband's working 40 to 60 hours a week. We're not making it.
Yeah. What is the what's the balance on the passenger van?
$31,000. We
and that's
literally
the only. How many children do you have? How many
7.
children? Okay. All right. You're going to have to get a used old passenger van. You have too expensive a passenger van.
I know. And I even told my husband that's what you were going to say. But the thing is, really and truly, and I'm not making an excuse, the old ones don't have headrests, and they're so dangerous for kids. I mean, their necks can snap in accidents because they don't have headrests.
You're talking to someone who used to sleep in the back window of a car. Not buying it. And I'm not asking, and you literally have made this such a drama that your children's lives are at risk because the car doesn't have a headrest. Come on, darling. I mean, that's just absurd. Seriously. Your family is completely broke. You don't even have health insurance. And you're talking to me about headrests. This is just, it's crazy. So I think you can work your way through this with some coaching, but you're going to have to sacrifice some things. I don't think bankruptcy is going to give you the land of rainbows and Skittles that you think it's going to give you. It might. Man, you know, you can work your way. You can try it if you want, but you call me, and I will tell you, I would move down in van. I'd sell the other car, get a beater for Daddy, and I'd work it from there. Thanks for the call.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
James is in Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show, James.
Hey, how's it going today, Dave?
Better than I deserve, sir. What's up?
So, Dave, first thing first, I want to say thank you for answering the call. And so, me and my wife just started a new job. I just started a new job, so I went to go get a second vehicle. Basically, I got the vehicle, has high interest rates. It's going up $9.41 a day. And after looking at that, I just made the first payment not too long ago, and I'm like, hey, you know, I got to get rid of this thing. I just started listening to you probably for the last 2 weeks, and I need help. We're looking to, you know, start that path of being debt free, and you know, trying to save for a home. Our son is 3, so
good.
Yes, sir.
So how much you owe on this car?
$14,476.
And what's your household income?
$75,000.
And how much other debt do you guys have, not counting your house?
So we have one other car, which has $13,000 left on it, and she has student loans for about $15,000.
Okay. All right. So that's $45,000 would have you be completely debt free.
Yes, sir.
And out of 75. So if you were to do that over 2 years, that'd be about $22,000 a year. So roughly $2,000 a month. You get on a really, really tight budget, and you have no life and no vacations, and you don't go out to eat, and you sell so much stuff the kid thinks he's next. And your friends that are broke think you've joined a cult because you don't have a life. And for 2 years, you get out of debt. And it's going to be $2,000 a month on this debts.
Right.
And you list your debts smallest to largest, pay minimum payments on everything but the little one, and attack the little one with a vengeance. Now, it sounds like that your car and her car are about the same price, and the student loans are about the same balance. The student loans slightly above. Now, is the interest rate on the new one ridiculous?
Yeah, 24%.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah.
Well, the good news is
scenarios where
so we're going to put it first because it's a tie with your wife's car on the balance roughly, and you're going to pay that thing off in about 7 months.
Okay.
Because you're getting hammered.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what is the lesson you learned about buying that car?
Oh man, honestly, I'm gonna be honest, Dave. I've been wanting to go ahead and just sell it, figure out a way to sell it, and take. Right now, we're on baby step 1, where we're trying to save $1,000 for emergency funds. But I've been trying to sell it just to try to buy a car cash, and you know.
All right, if you want to do that, that's okay. That'd be fine. But you can get it paid off real fast if you lean into it and you just stop your life. No life.
All right.
No life. Cut everything out. I mean, food, lights and water, and that's it, and we're going to pay off debt. That's how you get out of debt, is complete and total focus like that. So I'm going to help you. The lesson you should learn from this is interest rates matter, number one. So getting screwed at 24% is a dumb idea. That will keep you broke your whole life. Number 2, you impulse the crud out of this. This was a complete impulse. You didn't even look at it until you got home, and then you wanted to chew your arm off when you looked at the bill you were holding in your hand because you felt so dumb, okay? And that's what happens when we impulse something big. I've done it. I've done the same thing where I impulse something, particularly something big. You don't feel it when it's a stick of gum. You know, if you impulse a biscuit, that's not a problem, right? But when you impulse a freaking car, it'll kill you. You have to go slow on big purchases, fast on small purchases, and make good, wise decisions. And, of course, pay cash for everything from this point forward. So either sell it, dump it, and then work your way through your debt snowball and then pay cash for a better car, or just work and pay it off really, really fast. It'll be the first thing in your debt snowball because it's basically a tie for the smallest.